Welcome to a journey through time, to a place where knowledge of the natural world has been nurtured and cultivated, just like a well-tended garden. This is the story of the Botany Department of Delhi University, a tale that begins in the year 1947, the year of India's independence, when the seeds of this institution were first sown. The first chapter of our journey takes us back to that momentous year when, amidst the tumult of a nation newly freed, the Botany Department was established with a handful of dedicated faculty and students. Their mission was simple but profound: to pursue a deep understanding of plant life and its myriad interactions with the world around it.
So talking about the history and the early establishment of this department was actually established in 1947, so it is more than 75-year-old now, and Dr. J.J. Chenoy was the first head of the department. And later, it was Professor P. Maheshwari he took over, and Professor P. Maheshwari was specially invited by the then Vice-Chancellor Sir Maurice Goyer of Delhi University from Dhaka University. Let me tell you, Professor P. Maheshwari was already a very well-established name in the field of plant biology, and he joined this place in 1950, I believe, and for the next about 15 to 16 years, he really developed this department to the level that it soon became not only the best botany department within the country, but also probably in the world. At that time, this used to be the main center for embryology research or embryological studies. Almost everybody here was working on some aspects of embryology in some family or in some particular taxa. His book, Professor P. Maheshwari's book on embryology, is still considered the classical book in embryology and one of the most cited and most reputed books in plant sciences, I can say. Later on, it was Professor B.M. Johari. He became the head of the department after P. Maheshwari. And again, Professor B.M. Johari was also a great scientist, a great botanist. He had his own qualities. He was a perfectionist, and we were unfortunate. I had never interacted, of course, with Professor P. Maheshwari, but we got an opportunity to interact with Professor B.M. Johari, and we saw what kind of a scientist he was, his excellence in writing, in editing skills, and his analysis of whatever information we had at that time. It was extremely inspiring and wonderful. Followed by Professor Johari, I believe it was Professor Mohan Ram, H.Y. Mohan Ram, again a very famous, illustrious botanist of the country, probably of the world again. He was a remarkable man. He was one of the most loved teacher of this department. His contribution to popularize plant sciences in the young, many generations of students is most remarkable. So this department has a legacy of great botanists, and I can go on and on. Professor Rangaswamy again was a great scientist. Professor Shivanna, in their own respective fields, they are world renowned. Professor C.R. Babu, for that matter, again an extremely popular teacher, a very, very famous taxonomist, and he evolved to many other subjects from taxonomy.
This was the best place in India to do tissue culture research. 1960s and early 70s were the golden periods of tissue culture. Many new discoveries were made. For example, production of pollen plants, that means haploids, from anther culture was discovered in this department by Goa and Mohammad Jafri. Triploid production through endosperm culture was also first time achieved in this department. Likewise, a lot of research was done on embryo culture also. In gymnosperm, female haploids from female gametophytes were produced in this department. So there are many firsts for which this department was known. That's why it was considered to be the seat of learning for plant tissue culture in India as well as abroad.
As we move along the timeline, we encounter countless alumni, each with their own unique experiences and perspectives. Their stories, a rich tapestry of triumphs, challenges, and growth, reflect not just their personal journeys, but also the evolution of the department itself.
I taught at the Department of Botany, University of Delhi for more than 3 decades. I joined as a lecturer in 1970 and then became a reader afterwards, and then finally I retired as a professor of the Department of Botany. My impression on the Department of Botany are from different what we call perspectives. Department of Botany is not only the best department in the University of Delhi, but also in the entire country. It is an institute of international repute and pioneering research institute in the field of morphology and tissue culture at one time. But today, the department has what you call grown up to such an extent that it has almost all branches of plant sciences.
I joined this department in the year 1972, and I just finished my M.Sc in Pune, as it was called then, Pune today. And I came to do my PhD here. And it was one of the most enriching experience coming from a smaller place to this big department, which was then a center of advanced study in botany. And some of the great names that we had heard in our M.Sc were here as faculty members. And we were doing a PhD at that time. Many internationally recognized people from abroad, for example, Professor Heslop Harrison, Professor B.L. Burt, Takhtajan, and many others came here and spent 2 or 3 months in this place. And we had a lot of chance to interact with several others, botanists of repute here. And the kind of atmosphere of research was so vibrant.
Yeah, I had a passion towards doing something in research, joined Professor Raina's lab, and during those years of 7 years of stay in the department, I cannot recall those moments, like what changed me, what all transformations. It must be little small things, observing professors, gaining knowledge from them, and the confidence they instilled and the faith they had in us. So I believe, whatever the level we have achieved, I owe every bit of whatever I am to my teachers at Department of Botany. It is all their contribution, and I'll ever remain indebted to this.
This is the room where I was shaped as a master's in botany, and I learned the names of all the plants and shrubs and herbs here in this room and how they behave with each other. So I value those classes of 2 years here in Botany Department a lot. When I talk to you right now, I can hear still Professor C.R. Babu and Professor H.Y. Mohan Ram and Professor Dakshini talking and telling us about the importance of plants and how they correlate with animals and what environment is all about, apart from all the other subjects. But this room and this August hall has shaped me to understand nature much better than I could have done without coming to this hall.
My success in life in terms of career and job, I owe entirely to the Department of Botany. Today, I am a principal scientist and national coordinator of a World Bank funded project, National Agriculture Higher Education Project. And whatever success and achievements that I have, completely I give credit to the Department of Botany. I joined this department in 1986 for my M.Sc and 1988 for my PhD, which I completed in 93. And these years have been the best years of my life, where I not only studied the subject of botany, but I learned virtually everything that I did that was helpful in my job.
Fast forward to the present day. The botany department has grown just like a mighty tree from a tiny seed into a thriving institution offering Master of Science courses and PhD programs, along with a variety of other courses and internships. It's a testament to the vision of those early pioneers and the drive of countless individuals who have walked its halls over the decades. Today, the department boasts an array of state-of-the-art facilities. Advanced laboratories equipped with all the necessary instruments, smart classrooms that can comfortably accommodate over 100 students at a time, and a well-maintained library with access to a wealth of e-resources. The department is also home to 3 central instrument facilities with advanced instruments for both research and students pursuing their master's degree. A student lounge with a cafeteria offers a space for relaxation and camaraderie, while an antique plant specimens museum provides a tangible link to the past. A dedicated seminar hall hosts a variety of events and seminars, fostering a vibrant intellectual community. The department's own research plant, growing plots, ponds and greenhouse chambers, along with advanced instruments like transmission and scanning electron microscopes and a genetic analyzer, provide unparalleled opportunities for research and learning. One can't overlook the world-renowned Delhi University Herbarium, a treasure trove of botanical knowledge.
The herbarium at the University of Delhi is an internationally recognized herbarium known by the acronym DUH. It contains approximately 18,000 specimens from bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms, meticulously curated over many years since 1947 by dedicated botanists and researchers. Every year, many students come to visit our department herbarium so that they can add information for their research, and students from various colleges come to see the herbarium and understand its importance. We are in the middle of digitizing the herbarium, and this information will be shared online so that people from anywhere in the world can study the specimens available at DUH.
The MSc students are well trained for their further research career and higher trainings. The training also includes field research visits to teach them how to work with various plants on field level.
So in reproductive biology, we mainly teach techniques which are necessary for studying ovule development, then stigma development, stigma diversity, and pollination mechanisms, how to conduct hybridization studies involving various taxa. So studying the floral biology of various taxa, all these things are taught systematically. Further to that, we have also done like field studies where cross hybridization is being practiced. It's a very commercial activity where we can actually train the students to undertake cross hybridization between any two taxa by studying its floral biology and by understanding the mating system. So all this knowledge that have been accumulated over this course will help ultimately in conducting this cross hybridization studies.
So basically the class is divided into groups, and each group selects a journal club paper, a highly cited classical paper on a particular topic, and they present this paper as a group. So every student has to do this presentation so that they teach the paper essentially to the rest of the class. Then another group in that class asks them questions to make sure that no points have been missed. This is sort of competitive, and they are graded on the presentation as well as on the questions that they ask.
With over 16 labs dedicated to various fields of plant biology, it is a vibrant ecosystem of learning. These labs, teeming with PhD scholars and interns, serve as fertile grounds for innovation, where ideas germinate and sprout into groundbreaking research.
So this area in which I have been working for the past 20 years is plant reproductive biology, and this has been the flagship thrust area of the department since its beginning when Panchan and Maheshwari started the department. Earlier it used to be known for embryological work, but now this field has assumed a larger picture with the advent of more tools and technologies, and also because there has been multidisciplinarity in the field of science. So now we are looking into the new era with new tools where we have been able to combine scanning, transmission, electron microscopy, and we have done research by integrating tools, including molecular tools of course, in various developmental domains of reproduction. For example, how the pollen grains are developing in a very interesting family which is known as podostemaceae, and where there is no double fertilization at all. When you bring such systems which are naturally occurring and not accessible to many people and only endemic to your own country, it gives you an advantage to do that kind of research. And we have been able to give a lot of information how this species survives when it is deep, growing in water, in freshwater streams and all that. The kind of work that we do in the lab also depends on the kind of students we get. So they generally come by interest, and if they are field oriented, then it's one step better than other students who are only lab oriented.
We are basically using proteomics tool to answer some biological questions. Now the questions which we are trying to answer is, one is about nitric oxide signaling in cold stress. There we are focusing on nitrosilation, a post-translation modification of NO, and we have done some very landmark work there where we have shown that Rubisco activity is inhibited by nitrosilation during cold stress. Then we are also working on antifreeze proteins. Again, we have used proteomics approach to get our hands on these antifreeze protein from a Himalayan shrub called sea buckthorn that grows in frozen conditions. So that's why we thought it will be a good source for antifreeze protein, and we have got some candidates. I joined the department in 2001. So I'm here since last 23 years. And what I like about the department is the interdisciplinary studies or our course curriculum, which is very strong. And that's why our students are very well trained. Then I like the department as such. It's a green department, being botany department, so I like the ambience. The colleagues are again, because it is interdisciplinary, so different areas of research are being handled.
Okay, so I do have a lab in the University of Delhi, Department of Botany, which is Ecology and Ecosystem Research Laboratory. So we basically work on various aspects of plant and soil ecology, and particularly to do with biomass carbon estimation, enzyme chemistry, okay, and now we are also looking into distribution modeling using E&M approach and finding out what are the probable possibilities of species which are going extinct because of climate change, to find out and the migration pattern and how they are migrating from lower elevation to higher elevation because of climate change effects, and what are the potential areas that we can tell the authorities, okay, especially the forest department, to make proper management plans so that protect the species from extinction. To talk about my laboratory has all the facilities that is required for taking up ecological research. I do have certain dedicated and sophisticated equipment that I have procured through my projects. Yes. To talk about one particular instrument, which is your Elementor TOC analyzer, which is the only piece we have it in the entire university. Right. So students who come to my lab, what I expect from them is to be dedicated to work. Only people who are really interested to take up ecology, take up the challenge of being in the field, studying ecology. Okay, I advise them to take up this field.
I have a cell signaling lab in the department, and we are working on protein-protein interaction in G protein signaling, downstream effector below the beta-gamma signaling, and their involvement with hormone biology and stress biology, and how do they regulate various plant growth processes like cell division and the stress responses. So basically I study G protein signaling downstream effectors in plants, and I am in the department since 2010.
I have been at this department since 2003 after doing a postdoc at Cornell University Experiment Station. I enjoy being in the department and interacting with the MSc students. We have a very vibrant and diverse curriculum for the students in our department. So I've been here almost 21 years now, and I still feel the same enthusiasm in interacting with the students as I did then. During my teaching here, we have been doing courses which are not taught during the undergrad at the University of Delhi, or in fact for any other university in India. So my lab, actually my research lab with I guess 12 or 14 students by now, and many more who are currently working. We work on the diversity of the interactions of plants with the biotic environment. To be more precise, lepidopteran pests, lepidopteran beneficial insects like silkworms, and of course begomoviruses, which are major viral pathogens of crop plants. As far as students, we have a large number of interns who come and train with us. All we need is that there should be interns who are very enthusiastic and who are willing to work hard and enjoy science and the fun of it together.
I have been in the department since last 30 years. I came here as a research associate postdoctoral fellow and then joined as a faculty in the department. Since I am trained in the bryophyte biosystematics, I have been working on the biosystematics of bryophytes, especially in the Himalayas, and I have been working on the cytology, taxonomy on the basis of morphological characters, cytology to see the evolutionary pattern of mosses, and ecology also regarding their distribution, their habitat, and the occurrence and the status of taxa, endemic, endangered, widely distributed taxa, and especially the bryophyte animal association. For joining the research program, I think a blank student is required, because if a student is already has something, it may divert its interest. So we want a blank student. It does not matter whether it is a topper or a not topper. Mainly here we trained them for the field work, especially surveys to see the distribution patterns of bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, to study the population biology, to study the animal-plant relationship, to study the microbes and plants relationships, and how these relationships helps in the maintaining the balance, ecological balance, and providing the ecosystem services.
I joined this department in December 2007, so it's been almost 16 years here. I work in the area of plant biotechnology, transgenic plants, and crop genetics. We work on two main oilseed crops, mustard and safflower. We also work on sucking pests like aphids. So what actually impresses me most about this department is the huge diversity of subject areas that a student gets an opportunity to study when a student is in a general area of botany. So we have a wonderful course curriculum ranging from morphology, anatomy and taxonomy to genomics, bioinformatics and computational biology. So the students get a very, very well-rounded exposure to all the subject areas of plant biology here, which I think is very, very crucial in today's day and age when interdisciplinarity is very important to solve any scientific query. We have a lot of research projects from various funding agencies of the government, and we also have international collaborations with the University of Copenhagen in Denmark. We interact with other institutions of national importance in India also in our work on crop genetics.
When I joined this department, we established a lab which is called as the Lab of Plant Biology, Laboratory of Plant Biology. You can also call it as simply as Plant Biology Laboratory, because we do a holistic and multidisciplinary approach to understand plant development, plant evolution and plant adaptation. So our major goal in the research is to understand the organization of the genome and what the organization of the genome, how does it affect the function of the genome itself. So for instance, how polyploidy has affected evolution of genetic diversity, evolution of morphological diversity and evolution of regulatory diversity. So this is the area, and of course eventually how all of that translates into what you call as modification of traits for crop improvement programs. So we do a lot of basic research, and I have been very fortunate to have excellent PhD students, MPhil students and of course MSc students who have done dissertation in our lab. So this has been a very, very satisfying journey, and I hope that this journey continues to be in this area.
The Delhi University Botanical Society, which is in its 74th year now, was founded by the legend of Department of Botany, Reverend Professor Panchanan Maheshwari, in the year 1950. It is an esteemed society dedicated to promoting botanical knowledge and appreciation within the students of Department of Botany. Over the years, it has played a significant role in fostering a community of botany enthusiasts. Through various events such as lectures, competitions, botanical excursions, debates, etc., it has nurtured a vibrant community of plant enthusiasts and facilitated holistic student development, realizing the actual vision of the man himself, Professor Panchanan Maheshwari.
Today, this is the 66th flower show, which is essentially organized by Botany Department and some other members of other departments which constitute the flower show committee. This tradition of holding annual flower show started in 1959, where various educational, public, private institutes, colleges, schools participate in various competitions that involve local, exotic, flowering plants, cacti and bonsais, seasonals, perennials, vegetables.
The proper functioning of this prestigious institution is not possible without the support of the non-teaching staffs, including our office staff, security guards, gardeners, lab assistants, and other non-teaching staffs. They all play a crucial role in shaping the department's journey. They are the unsung heroes, the silent pillars supporting the edifice of education. Intrigued to know more? Feel free to explore the department's website or reach out for more information. The world of botany awaits you, ready to reveal its secrets and marvels. So step into this journey, dive into the world of green, and let the knowledge of botany guide you.